I've got a ton of information for you guys again today surrounding Undecember. Documents upon documents brought to us, well, from Undecember, of course, but also my good friend, Red October. Make sure you go follow this guy over on Twitter and tell him that Echo says what's up and that you appreciate his sharing of information. What is up, my friends? My name is Echo, and Line Games has been coming out with so many updates around Undecember. The beta is coming very soon, like I'm talking in a week or two. Don't know if I'm gonna get my hands on it yet. I really wish that I could, but I'm not sure. Gonna try. Either which way, I'm gonna be bringing you any information that I find, have, footage, all that, because Undecember is good. I can tell already, but I can't confirm that because I haven't tried it. So it has potential of being good, I should say. And I have a ton of info to be going through with you guys today. Documents upon documents. I just finished eating lunch, and it was a bowl of cereal, and it was actually Raisin Bran Crunch. Then I'm like, okay, I want something salty, so I had Cheez-Its, and I'm like, you know what, this is not healthy. So I decided to grab an apple, because I went apple picking this weekend, and I got like 20 pounds of apples, yet I haven't had one. That's good and crunchy. Eat fruit. Vegetables too. I gotta take my own advice. So what we have here is an interview, and they're saying that Undecember is a hack and slash game without a season system. Mind you, all of this has been translated, so you never know how 100% accurate things are going to be. Most likely not, but let's take a deeper look into this. Line Games Undecember, which is drawing attention for gamers with its unique rune system and cross-platform, has UBT in front of them. Users who participated in the pre-registration will be able to enjoy various contents such as the main story, raid, PvP, and guild battlefields of Undeath through this test. So multiple game modes are going to be available. And it says people that were pre-registered. I didn't even pre-register, or maybe I did and I don't remember. Either way, I got no email saying I'm going to have access, so that stinks. Line Games had a place to ask and answer questions about a number of undisclosed questions with Koo In Young, CEO of Need Games, a developer prior to UBT Undecember, which will start October 13th. There you go. That's 4 days after you're watching this video. So yeah, that's going to be sweet. Hopefully you guys get your hands in the game and play it. If you do, please record your footage and send it to me, and I will credit you 100%. Need that footage. Although information about the game has been continuously released, many questions are still veiled, so we are able to hear them. Well, they're answering questions, and they're doing it right now. So that's the CEO of Need Games, and he's the one that's kind of in charge of things. I've been developing Undecember for quite a while. During that time, the developers have prepared hard, and I think the test is a first step in getting to the test. Of course. I think he means the test is the first step into getting to the release. As much as I'm prepared, I hope everyone enjoys playing Undecember. Notice the inconsistencies with Google Translate. Even Google is not perfect. So now we're getting to some of these questions, and as we have it, I wonder if the service operation method is specific or periodic content updates. Let's see what the answer is. When I first started designing, I thought a lot about the season system. Most of the existing hack and slash games are operated on a seasonal basis. We know this from Diablo 3. I personally don't love it. I'm happy that Diablo Immortal is not going to have a season system, so yeah, that's great too. This is because the balance patch is frequent due to the nature of hack and slash. We thought and approached it a little differently. I wanted to make Undecember a game with continuity. As a user who enjoyed seasonal games, it was fun to develop new characters and things every season, as we already are aware of. But I also felt the pressure of starting from scratch, so I feel the same way. I would not want to start from scratch every single season. I love the idea here that there are no seasons, so you can continuously build in the characters that you've already invested in. That's a good thing right there. Therefore, Undecember does not introduce a season system. I plan to make the character continue to grow without reset after the service. A+. They're setting a cycle for 4 to 6 month major updates, which is great. Continuous support for the game. We love that. And we plan to perform minor updates in the middle. Minor updates are considered to be at least 1 month to 6 weeks. So I assume when balance changes need to happen or any small updates, 4 to 6 weeks is what we're looking at. Unless there's an emergency, I'm sure they'd hop in right away, or they should. Why did you decide to develop a hack and slash genre game? As a user who likes hack and slash from the beginning, I fully sympathize with the fun of hack and slash, and he has been developing the hack and slash genre since a long time ago. I started by thinking about what I could be good at and what developers could be good at. In addition, I want to convey the sensibility of hack and slash, and I felt the past rather than games of these days. So I guess he's trying to say the feel that you get from hack and slash games from the past he was trying to bring to Undecember. It would be nice to see the battle style was compromised of hack and slash while preserving the essence of RPG. So what he's trying to do here, fuse RPG with hack and slash. We've seen this done before. It's not anything new, but let's just hope they do it well. Question: do you think there's a difference between the sensibility of hack and slash you felt in the past versus the sensibility from these days? So Diablo 1, Diablo 2 versus Diablo Immortal, in my opinion, very different. Let's see what he thinks. Look at that, he's on Diablo as well. If you think of Diablo that everyone knows as a representative in the past, many people played it and it was possible to increase the understanding of hack and slash. Cool, yes, good. There are games like Path of Exile these days, but because they are so core, the barrier to entry for users has increased due to the nature of the genre. I thought it would be good if we changed the part to light and added fun gamers who wouldn't touch the hack and slash genre because of the barrier. Man, this is clutch. Because when you get into Path of Exile, you have to understand hack and slash genre. You can't go in as a new to hack and slash guy or girl and learn the game there. It just doesn't work that way. It's difficult. It's for seasoned players of the genre. So I love what he's saying right here, that he wants this to be more player friendly, more user friendly, so that really people that maybe have never played hack and slash games can get involved with this one. I wonder what kind of content is prepared for you. This is the point that users are concerned about. You can think about a basic philosophy as emphasizing the feeling of hack and slash. Undecember is composed of content suitable for solo play. We've been talking about a lot of PvE and PvP stuff, but now he's talking about solo. Of course, there are various cooperative and competitive components, but I took it as a standard for solo play, so really seems to value the solo experience inside of the game. End content has a structure that allows you to increase character specifications and obtain items through continuous farming. We released a content introduction video a few days ago. I showed you guys that in the channel, and you could think of the Chaos Dungeon appearing that was at the end. All right, so this is something that we really haven't spoken about, how the solo play being a primary focus here inside of the game. Now we know every game has a solo element to it, but it seems that they really are invested in that solo experience being a really good one. That's cool. Hack and slash is a lot of repetitive content. This is true. So I tend to add randomness to reduce boredom. What is the randomness of Undecember? I bet you he talks about the rune system. The core value of Undecember is farming, and I think there are quite a few random elements related to farming. If you look at them in a big way, you can see them as items and runes. Your boy called it. I knew it. Currently, there are 11 types of items that can be equipped, and there are additional items for the user to farm. This UBT is being prepared to be farmed according to focus on items. So when you choose your item sets, I guess you could farm stuff for them. On the other hand, the number of options running on an item is quite large. I think it'll take quite a while to find items that are suitable for my build and the options I want there. In addition to dropping items, the process of making them one by one is also included in content. In addition to simply hunting monsters repeatedly, there are also devices for changing or making options for them. So you're going to be able to do some crafting. That's 100% what he's talking about right there, is the crafting. You said there are no classes for Undecember, but I'm curious about how many differentiating points there are in fostering. When looking at the characteristics of each skill, it can be classified in 3 categories. So we have melee, long range, and magic. Okay, so we're looking at the barbarian, the archer, and the wizard, if we were to call them classes. Magic can be classified in the same way, and not only physical damage, but also damage by element is classified. There are also summoner type skills. There is no class, but it can be said that this is the extent of a job that clearly distinguishes it like a class. So although there are no classes, as you build out, you are going to kind of form yourself into a class build. The goal we're pursuing is not just relying on physical damage, even for melee characters, but we want them to attack in a variety of ways by mixing elemental attacks. Magic can also be an advantage to choose according to your taste, such as mixing various elemental attacks. And man, this is what I was talking about a few weeks ago when I talked about building classes in Undecember. Some people thought that I was wrong, but I love what he's saying right here, that we're able to mix up different class elements so you could have a barbarian style character that really focuses on melee with a couple of magical skills that you would see in a wizard. This makes it really interesting and can make it really fun to be playing an action RPG in a way where you don't have to choose between if you want power or magic, or power or range. You could have a little bit of both, or even all three. It's a lot of fun. That sounds really cool. Is it possible to freely reset skills while developing a character? Of course it's possible. When comprising a character build, it can be broadly divided into zodiac, item, and rune, so the user can change these three at any time. Since the item is a farming element, you could change it to another build through farming or through the auction house, so selling things that you have. Runes are a growth factor, but a device for switching to a different build has been added, and the runes can also be acquired through farming, and the build can be changed. Zodiac is a property tree structure and can be changed through idolization. You can reset any number of times until Act 5, but from Act 6 onwards it requires a certain level of cost and plans to consist of items that can be acquired in the game, I'm sure paid for as well. Is the exchange an auction? Does it support one-to-one trading between players? There is no transaction between individuals. That's good. All players must trade through the auction house. Perfect. Not going to have any, cheating going on in that sense. Are the items that can be traded classified? Not all the items are traded, and items that can be traded are separated. Equipment obtained by farming is basically tradable. There may be cases where only a specific build with strong performance is used during the service. How do you plan to adjust the balance? The most important point is the balance between skills. We don't want only certain builds to be preferred. That's cool. Therefore, in order to eliminate the unconditional selection of high skill damage, we tried to match it evenly. We want to allow users to choose according to the style they want. I want to check the skill balance through the UBT. The balance may be adjusted according to these results. Also, we will try to get rid of that part after launch, so through balance changes, of course. If a national tree using a specific build and item is created, the build may become stuck. Is there anything else you thought about other than changing it through the balance patch? At launch, skill balance will be approached with caution. Users who choose the build may be disadvantaged or vice versa, may be beneficial. Going without a balance patch at all can't be answered for sure, but speaking of direction, I'm thinking that I might try to give a variety by continuing to provide another build. So I guess they could add items to help buff other builds without having to nerf other things. Lots of ways that they can balance things. It's part of being a developer. Balance changes are a thing. Many ways to make something that's overpowered more mid-game, and things that are underpowered back up to mid-game as well. Balancing. If not a season system, I'm curious how you will consume the accumulated resources and power inflation between new and old users that may occur as the service continues. So if I'm playing since day one and then 3 years later someone joins, how the heck are they ever going to catch up? We know how they do it in Diablo Immortal. Let's see how they're going to do it here. First of all, the accumulated resources can be exchanged goods, and I plan to continuously increase the content that can be used for the material items. Also, it can grow quickly because it doesn't take long to get to end content. Even those who start late will grow more easily than existing MMORPG games, so there won't be a big gap. Item-related games are also farm-oriented, so if you're lucky, you can acquire powerful equipment and grow quickly. It seems like he was just saying you can get through the game and get a pretty max level build fast. In most farming games, it's good to get the item you want, but it can be annoying when it doesn't come out. In addition to anticipating drop items, Undecember has a lot of material items that can enhance items and enchant system that allows you to expect something else. In this way, we made it possible to use several items for other content. So yeah, you may not find the stuff you're looking for, but it seems that you can kind of make it or make something that's similar to it, which is cool. Crafting systems work. I wonder if the method of dropping items during party play is private or shared. In party play, you can see each individual item that can be acquired. You can view it as an individual allocation rather than a shared one. In Immortal, I don't see things that my teammates pick up. They're not available to me. They're not even there. Raid content, which is rare in hack and slash games, is included. How is the raid going? There's a reason I want to include raid content. I took Undecember based on solo play, but I also wanted to add some fun catching huge monsters by cooperating with users. I thought a lot about how to solve the raid in hack and slash. Love this, by the way. Only 8 players can participate in the Undecember raid, and it is not a method that utilizes the characters of the class like general MMORPGs. Although there are points to attack in each raid, it is not a method to require a character with a specific skill. Each raid has a gimmick, but the hurdles aren't on the high side, so I hope you can see that there is a device for fun. So raids, a great way to play with your friends, beat some big bosses. It's kind of like the Heliquary we were talking about in Diablo Immortal. What's the difference between equipment attainable from raids and equipment obtained from field drops? Equipment falling from the field in raid is the same and needs to be sorted out in a current raid compensation section. I've also considered items that can enhance runes, but I'm currently thinking about what to do, so not fully answered right here. If you put specific item that can only be obtained from a raid, you're forcing a raid. Also the opposite case. There may be no reason to do a raid. As Undecember is based on solo play to the last, we will decide initially after discussing it. So it sounds like he wants to have items available through multiple methods of playing. So not like you have to use this raid or go on this raid to get this item. Looks like he wants to have multiple options for play. After playing for a long time, you fall into a mannerism. Other games can solve this problem by raising other classes, but Undecember doesn't have a class. What do you think of a way to fill the driving force for long-term play? Great question. Because you're not going to need multiple characters. You can just swap out how you build builds, and then you essentially have all the classes in one character. The reason we're going towards sustainable content rather than seasonally is that we can continue to provide content and continue to provide a sense of purpose for farming, as we continue to update whenever there is a part that users get tired of or fall into mannerism, or basically just get bored of it, doing it over and over again. I think that it can provide long-term driving force by creating new content. So I love this. Already planning out creating new content. You said that there's a production system such as an enchantment and alchemy. Is it possible to access top-level items with only the contents? Or do you have to, go through this alchemy stuff to get it there? Currently, equipment and runes can be enchanted. The quality of the enchantment is the same as the items that can be farmed through monster hunting. Alchemy focuses on processing items other than equipment and runes. Is there a function to assist when playing on a mobile platform, and what is the internal impression of each platform? This is a big one right here. Considering the issue of equity between platforms, we try to exclude as much as possible anything that benefits a specific platform. So they're not trying to do something in there that's going to make PC players or mobile players have an advantage over the other. Very nice. Instead, there are device limitations for each platform. So the platform of mobile and PCs is different. Mobile is a device that will eliminate the fatigue and repetitious actions, and smart controls have been introduced. Awesome. Smart control is a function that automatically uses the main skill and can be turned on or off. Undecember has no skill countdown except for some skills. Therefore, it's expected that the fatigue of repeatedly pressing or continuously touching the main skill can be partially resolved. In addition, operations such as movement can be done manually. Must be done manually. Good. That means there's no autoplay, but it looks like there's some type of an auto attack on and off feature. So I hope you understand it's a method of emphasizing the convenience of manual battle that is different from existing automatic battle method. So I'll be able to run my character around. My character will auto attack, but I am still in control of the character. So it's not an auto battle, but it's something that's there to preserve the hands of mobile players. I play frag shooter, or I did in the past. In frag shooter, there is no attack button. When you're in range of your weapon, it auto attacks, but you're in control of all the characters on the screen. It reminds me of that. Personally, I think the feel of operation is better on mobile than on PC. What? Of course, some said that the PC was better, so the dev likes the mobile better. Is it necessary to design for the purpose of farming? Is there other challenge contents besides raids? The content that becomes the main stage when farming is the Chaos Dungeon. First, the reason for supporting cross-platform is portability of mobile. Makes sense. If a structure that does not take a long time to farm, so I use the mobile a lot when I do it for a short time. When you're going farming, you could use mobile. He's saying it doesn't take a lot of time. You can enjoy farming through the solo play in Undecember, and you can think of cooperation and competitive content as a position that can be giving you fun rather than a main purpose. So you don't have to do PvP and PvE, but it's there as an option for your enjoyment. It's not going to be required to progress through the game. Let's talk about performance. It's being developed on Unreal Engine 4. What are the requirements for PC and mobile? At the moment, the Galaxy S8 is set as the minimum on Android, and the iOS, we're talking about the iPhone 6s. So if you have a Samsung Galaxy S8 or an iPhone 6s or above, you'll be good to play this game on mobile. That's actually good requirements. Like iPhone 6 is like, man, 5 or 6 years old. The PC environment is not that high either. An i5 CPU with 8 gigs of RAM and a GTX 1050 graphics card can play smoothly. Wow. I'll be able to max it out on my PC. Got a 3090 in there. I could play anything in the world. But I'm going to play it on mobile. And I have my iPhone 11, which I plan to upgrade to the 13 soon. I don't even need to, though, for this game. Or for Diablo Immortal. Some hack and slash games provide content such as hardcore mode, which is when you die, you're dead. Your character is literally gone. Are we going to see this in Undecember? I personally want to put it in, but I don't know it will turn out because there's a lot of internal opposition. At the time of launch, we have no intention of supporting it. However, if we think it's necessary content through user communication in the future, we'll consider it. Love that. More than the idea, their ability and their willingness to listen to the community and what the community wants. I personally don't love a hardcore mode, but some may, and if enough do, maybe they'll input it into the game. That's cool if they're willing to listen. How will you communicate with users after the game is released? This is part of what we'll discuss in the business side. What I can say at the moment is that as a game player, I think communication is important. I plan to operate accordingly. You can follow them on Facebook, although Facebook stinks. I believe I follow them on Twitter, and of course they have a Discord, which I'm part of. So I'm assuming that any update related stuff will be in those platforms. How do you plan to make paid content? Ooh, BM continues to be discussed. There isn't much I can say about it right now. I think it's a process of finding a direction. Products with profitability are not considered as BM. I'll tell you what. If they haven't figured out the monetization yet, how could this game be ready to come out in 2 months? They're saying it's coming out in 2021, but that's a hint that they may not be on track for that. Are you planning additional tests when this testing phase is over? There are metrics I want to get from this test. The first goal is to get users to test the game. Other than that, there are things that are necessary for operation, so I'm going to test it, but once the game is complete, I'm ready. I think it may depend on the results. What do you want users to do, and what system do you want them to pay attention to? The only difference between Undecember is the skill system and items. There's more differences than that, but cool. In the process of developing a character, I would like you to focus on whether users can experience the variety of skill builds and have fun of it, and whether they can feel the essential fun of farming. Really into that single player farming. But wow, that was long. There's a lot of information inside of this video, and the length of the video says that. I have more information that I was going to add to this video, but because of the length, I'm going to make that come out next week. So you guys are going to need to make sure you come through because you're going to want to see what's in those documents as well. But we're out of here for today. Hope you guys can let me know in the comments below what you're most excited about after hearing this interview in the comment section. Remember to sub and ring the bell for action RPGs on mobile. Undecember, Diablo Immortal, we got you covered. Now be good.